Hi, everybody. This is Patty with Patricia Wells Photography, and I am so excited to talk today with my friend Bridget. She is with Queen Bee Planning, and we're just going to talk a little bit so you can get to know her and what she does. She's really great. So, hi, Bridget. Bridget and I are both going to be vendors at the Bridal Expo at Sugar Shack Farms, and that's going to be on May 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. We're really excited about that. That's in Milner, Georgia, and I'm going to leave the link in the comments section of wherever this video is posted. So just take a look in the comments, and I'll leave you a link for how you can get more information. All right, so Bridget, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? Tell them a little bit more about you and your business.
Okay. So again, I'm Bridget Daniel, Queen Bee Planning. I am a event planner, coordinator, decorator, all the things. The only thing I don't do is catering, but I've got some great catering vendors. But yeah, so that's me. I'm a mom of seven, and just trying to, to get out there and do a great thing for the community and for the brides and all of my clients. So
Awesome. Seven. That's awesome. That is so
seven
great.
children. Yes, they range from ages 26 to 4.
Oh, wow. That's
So
great.
yeah. So
Yeah,
and we
that's
have two
great.
grandchildren also. So we just had
Oh,
our second
yeah, that's
grandchild
right.
in January. So yeah, so we're busy, but we
Sure.
yeah, love it.
Awesome. So, why don't you tell me how you got started in the planning business?
Okay. So I was actually raised up in the industry. My mom was a caterer. She also did decorating and coordinating as well. And probably the reason why I don't like catering is because I grew up in it with her doing it. But so, yeah, so I was raised up in the industry. She did it for many years. In my 20s, she and I did it together for a little while. And then we kind of got out of it. My grandmother was also a florist, so I learned all of my floral design from her. So that's how I got started. It's kind of just been in my blood, and I just enjoy doing it. So for the past few years, I've done it for friends and family, and worked at a couple of venues, helping out, as event staff there, and then in 2024, had some things that changed in my life, and God opened some doors, and so here I am full time, Queen Bee Planning and events. So we plan and coordinate and decorate and all the things.
Very cool. Very, very cool. That's really neat that you grew up in the industry and you
Mm-hmm.
got some really good guidance from your mom
Yeah,
and your grandmother. That's awesome.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, very cool. So tell me this. What is your favorite thing about weddings?
Oh, about weddings. Probably from start to finish, sitting down with the bride and figuring out, learning what their vision is, what their, all little girls dream of their wedding, you know. And so for me, my favorite part is being able to come in and create their day and their special day and make it, bring their dreams to reality. So
Awesome. That's very cool. I guess each one would be different. Like everybody's
absolutely.
dream is different, so
Hmm.
you're never really doing the same thing over and over and over.
Right.
You're making different dreams come to life.
Right. And just meeting people and getting to know people. I'm a social butterfly, so I love to meet new people, and so this is a fun way to do it. Like I said, be able to bring their vision to life. So
That's so cool. That's very cool. Awesome.
mhm.
So, all right, here's a big one.
Okay.
What are your three best tips for somebody who
Oh,
is maybe they're just starting planning a wedding, or maybe they're kind of halfway through, but just your three best tips that you would give to somebody who's actually right now planning a wedding?
okay. Number one, have a budget. Have a budget. Don't just kind of fly by like have a serious budget and try to stick to that. I have a whole budget plan. So, if you were to hire me as your coordinator, your planner to help plan your wedding, then we would sit down with that budget and kind of break it up and show you how to where to put your money, what's the
Mhm.
most important
Right.
things and what's, maybe not so much. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is to definitely have a vision board. Create a vision, put it out there. The Bible even says to when you have dreams or you have visions, to write them down. And so
Mhm.
even with a vision board, if you make that, then it creates that, and it kind of brings it to life, and then it helps you stay focused on what you're doing. So, and then thirdly,
Wait.
oh,
Number
sorry, sorry.
two,
Okay.
could you
Yep.
explain a little bit for those who may not know what exactly a vision board is?
Okay. So a vision board is just your vision. So whatever it is, if you see things that you like and that you want to have, your colors and your flowers and, kind
Ah,
of
okay.
the decor, and even there's so many different styles. You've got boho, you've got kind of that farmhouse feel, and the different ones. So just so you can kind of tone in and figure out um, what your vision truly is, and that will help you to kind of decide
So
which way you want to go.
like I
Mm-hmm.
used to would like cut out pictures from a magazine or something and stick
Yes.
them on like a poster board or something like that. But you could probably do that digitally too.
Yes, absolutely. Pinterest is the best way to do it.
Oh, nice.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite. That's my favorite. I always ask my brides or whatever, like, do you have a Pinterest board? Because that's the easiest way. Like when we sit down and we start planning, like, let's do a Pinterest board. If you don't have Pinterest, let's figure out what's a good way to do that. But definitely have a vision of what it is that you want.
Awesome.
Otherwise, you'll have a cluttered mess.
Correct. I have seen a few.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to tip number three now. Sorry to interrupt you, but I
Tip,
just wanted to make
no,
sure everybody
that's
knew what
okay.
you were talking
That's
about.
okay. That's
Awesome.
okay. So tip number three is a big one. And I believe that all vendors that are part of any wedding, and all mothers of brides and aunts of brides and all the things will agree that have a day of coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is the biggest one. Even if you are the best planner and you're organized and you want to plan your whole thing, and you don't need me or, any other planner to help you, through the process of planning the wedding, have somebody there the day of that has no focus other than to coordinate everything for your day. That way you don't have to worry about, the vendor showing up on time. You have somebody that's going to do that, somebody that you're going to hand it over to. They're going to take all of the phone calls. They're going to handle all of the back end stuff, any issues that might come up. One of my biggest one of the craziest stories I think I could tell is, I had a wedding, where the cake was delivered and the top layer of the cake was hanging off the side when it was delivered to the venue. Now, if that bride had seen that,
That gives
it would
me.
have probably sent her over the edge. But I will tell you, unless somebody told her, because nobody knew except for the people that were in the room when we opened the cake. But we fixed it, and it was done, and nobody knew any different. But those are the little things, the day of, the day of your wedding that's the most important day of your life, and it goes by so quickly, that you need to have, I get emotional about it even. But it goes by so quickly, and you want to soak up every moment that you can of that day. So to have somebody that that you can just hand it all off to, they're going to take care of any issues that come up. They're going to, have safety pins if you need a safety pin, or a tied pin if you get something on your dress, or anything like that. Having a coordinator there to take care of those things. And I promise you, your vendors love it when you have that, because then they know they have one person to come to take care of all the little things, where to set up, what to do, where's the electric, all of the things. And then you're not being interrupted, or mom's not being interrupted or whatever. So
Right.
definitely have a day of coordinator.
I have just a little small story from my wedding, because I was like, I'm planning this thing. I don't need anybody. I can do this all myself. It's just fine. But we were lining up to go down the aisle, and the caterer's assistant came up and said, do you know where the serving trays are? What? No, 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 go find them. I'm about to go down the aisle for my wedding. So, it's so true that
Mm-hmm.
having someone who is in charge, and
Mm-hmm.
the go-to person, so that the bride's not going, "What? I'm ready to go down the aisle. What? Ah!"
Right.
I mean, I didn't freak out, but inside I was going, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
asking me this right now?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
was the person. I was the point person, and so
Mm-hmm.
that I did it to myself. And so,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So I would say absolutely, you need somebody to be in charge, and hire somebody who knows what they're doing, not just
Mm-hmm.
get some random like friend that doesn't
Right.
actually know what
Right.
how to do a wedding. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
maybe they got married, but they don't know all the logistics necessarily.
right. Right. Well, and what I tell people is, for the most part, most people only plan one wedding, you know.
Hmm.
You only have one wedding to plan, where as a planner and a coordinator, I've planned them. So I know, and not just me, but all, most
Sure.
experienced planners and coordinators, they know what to expect, and they know to expect the unexpected. So, we're always prepared. I have a huge bag of just, it's just my go-to bag that has all kinds of things in it, safety pins and bobby pins, and hot glue, like everything that I've ever run across
Right.
that I might need is in that bag, because you just know to prepare for those things. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. I even hired in a coordinator for my daughter's wedding, when my daughter got married last year. So, because I was like, I don't want to. She wanted me to plan it. She wanted me to decorate it. She said, I don't want anybody else to do it but you. I said, well, that's fine, but my day of, I am not doing it. I get
Right.
to be mom.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that was the best decision I ever made. So I knew I didn't have to worry about anything. I handed it over to her, and I said, handle it, So yeah, and it was great. It definitely made a difference, because I can't imagine if I had tried to do that, even as an experienced coordinator. Trying to do it on my daughter's wedding would have been, I just can't even imagine.
Yes. I could. Yes. So, okay, that was awesome information. I would like to know where I would like you to let people know where they can get in touch with you. What's the best way? Do you have
Okay.
like Facebook, or is there an
Mm-hmm.
email that's best, or a website? What's going to be the best way to get in touch with you?
Yep. So I am on Facebook, and it is Queen Bee Planning on Facebook. Um, I am um, I am learning Instagram. So we are on Instagram, but we're getting there with
Right,
Instagram.
right. Sure.
So we're working on getting on all platforms, social media platforms, but we are definitely on Instagram. I mean, on Facebook, it's Queen Bee Planning.
Great.
My website is queenbeeplanning.com.
Okay.
And you can go there to kind of see all the different packages and stuff that I have, and you feel free to reach out to me as well. Our email is queenbeedesignplanning.com or at gmail.com. And yeah, so.
Awesome. And I'll go ahead and drop those links into the comments as well as the link for the Bridal Expo at Sugar Shack Farms. Again, we are both going to be there and we're going to be vendors. And so there's going to have lots of great vendors, people,
Yeah.
The venue itself, the Sugar Shack Farms um, venue, and then we'll have Queen Bee Planning, we'll have Patricia Wells Photography. There are some other, there's dress people, there's photo booths,
Mm-hmm.
tuxedo rentals, caterers, all those things. You can come. It's a kind of a one-stop shop to just kind of get an idea of what's available, and I'm sure there are going to be some great deals you can get there, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are going to be cakes and things where you can have a little taste.
Yes, all the things.
And so, come join us. It's going to be at Sugar Shack Farms in Milner, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
between 3 and 5 p.m. on May 4th. And I'll put that link down into the comments so um, you can find it. All right. So it's been so great to talk to you today, Bridget.
Thank you so much for having me, Patty. I really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Me too. And just learning a little bit more. I mean, we've been friends, but just learn a little bit more about your
Yeah.
process and, you know, what makes you go in your
Yeah.
designing and coordinating and
Yes.
planning. It's
Yes.
awesome.
I love
Awesome.
it.
So
Awesome. Okay.
until next time, I'm Patty Wells and this is Bridget.
Right.
And we are going to sign off now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.